Hey, this is Jayme from Lick the Spoon podcast. Beth and I are two geriatric millennial friends sharing stories and talking. So we hope you enjoy listening. And if you do, please take a second to tap the subscribe/follow button so you don't miss any of our episodes. Thanks.
Okay, so I'm like living my best life on Saturday, and I was just gonna like get into sweats and lay around and do nothing. But then I was like, I stink. I'm gonna take a shower and like go out. So I went out into the world and I like did all this stuff I needed to do, which I was proud of. And I've been looking everywhere for a candle wick trimmer because I've learned that like I've not been trimming my candle wicks appropriately.
Can't you just use scissors?
No, because you need it to be angled. Okay, I need to spend the $5. Well, I mean, no, Jayme, I don't need it.
Do you want to know what I do? Okay, no, finish your story.
No. You just use scissors? That's appropriate.
No, I'll tell you what I do.
I snip it with my fingers and then I get the black thing under my nails.
So I go rip off a little tiny piece of paper towel because I'm cheap.
My gosh, and then you do that.
Because I don't want to use a whole paper. Yes, true. And then I use that and then I just pinch it off.
That's what I've been doing, but I don't even use paper towel because I'm trash and I just get in there and then I have like black under soot and wax. And then I was like, I'm going to say on TikTok a lot. But yeah, I watched Candle Guy and he was saying, get the wick trimmer. Yes. So I'm looking in the Tri-Cities for a wick trimmer, thinking, oh yeah, they'll have it at Target. No. Oh, they're going to have it at Bed Bath & Beyond.
Is it like a nail clipper thing?
No, it's kind of just like this long, it's like, it kind of is like an L-shaped. I don't know how to describe it. This is why I'm going to bring it up on, what is this called? This is called a computer. This is what we type into.
The internet is called?
It's called the World Wide Web. And we're going to get up on here and look at things. So this is what it looks like.
Oh.
Yeah. And
that looks like something that Tony would use.
Yeah.
Yes.
But it's
I've seen one of those in his.
It's like angled and it's kind of, it's kind of nice. And.
Oh, you totally needed one of those.
Right? Like,
yes.
I got to get it. And then I was learning all about, cause like candles, how they'll, the candle, I've learned so much about candles and how you're supposed to like, did you know that you can't just blow a candle out? Like you need to let it burn all the way to the sides so that you don't get like, it doesn't, how like you look at those candles and it's just like going in and then you have all the wax on the side? Mm-hmm. Yes, because candles have memory. Yeah, a memory ring. That's what I'm learning about. And so I need this. And then they, instead of like blowing it out or using a snuffer, you just dip the wick. They have a wick dipper that you could dip the wick into the wax and then there's no smoke. I'm like, thank you. Because every time I blow out a candle, I'm afraid the fire alarm is going to go off.
Right.
And I'm like terrified.
And it doesn't smell nearly as good. It smells like
it's awful.
Smoke.
And then sometimes it's like, pretty thick. And then it has like that little ember at the end. And
it's terrible for your lungs to breathe that in. Maybe.
Yeah. I like to huff it, but it's fine. So anyway, looking everywhere.
Did you find one of those too? Oh, no. Really? Couldn't you just use a knife? Like
I was going to use a chopstick.
Oh, a chopstick.
Because I have metal chopsticks. I'm like, I'll just give one up because I have 1,000 metal chopsticks. But anyway, it's just in my head. And I was going to get on Amazon, but I'm trying to not use Amazon that much anymore.
Ask, why didn't you just look on Amazon?
And that's why. Yeah. So I'm not boycotting Amazon because obviously, like, I still need like a discount on my books, but I'm trying to like be better about it.
Well, you can buy used books on Amazon, just so you know.
I've been doing eBay for my used books.
Okay.
Because I'm trying to like really like separate from Amazon, but it is addiction, especially during the pandemic. Yeah. It was just been like, I'm just going to get it on Amazon. And then I get it 2 days later and I'm so happy. And then I'm not. So
yeah.
Anyway.
Support local.
Yes. So I'm trying to support local.
TJ Maxx it's still a chain.
It is a chain, but at least it's like in our community.
True.
Yep. And I was going to go to a couple of boutiques, but what happened at TJ Maxx got me all riled up. So I'm at TJ Maxx and I'm walking in there and I'm like dressed in my like normal attire, like an Adidas hoodie and jeans and my Chucks. And so I'm just walking in there and I'm like, go do the loop through the beauty because duh, like who doesn't do that? And I'm like walking and out of the corner of my eye, I see an old friend. I think. And I felt real snatchy because I looked at this person and I don't know if it was this person or not. And I think it was, but I made fun of the person prior to thinking it was that person in my head a little bit because they were wearing pumps, like open-toed strappy sandals with jeans. And I was like, I can't right now because it's October. Uh-huh. And I was being such a brat about it. And then I'm like, oh my gosh. I looked at the person like, you look like a mom. Like, you look like such a mom right now. And again, I'm in a frumpy outfit. Like, I look like a teenage boy, And then I'm like, oh my gosh, I think that's that person. So I was like, oh, don't make eye contact. So
you got out of there? As somebody you didn't want to say hi to.
Yes. So I was just like, I can't today. And I went and looked for the candle wick trimmer at TJ Maxx. They did not have it. I was very upset. And there's a lot of people there. So I was just like going to bounce. But then I needed to look at cat toys. And so I'm like,
wait, is this person in the store at the same
time?
Yeah. You were like,
I don't care. Yeah. And again,
were you mentally preparing the whole time?
I was like, oh, if they come up to me and they say anything, I'm going to throw down. I'm like, where are you throwing down? like, come at me. And I'm like, my big thing is like, I don't want to cry when I see this person.
Yeah.
Because there's so much emotion tied to friendships and stuff. And like, I've had that happen before where I had a falling out with a friend and I saw them years and years later and I just like busted up crying and talking to them. And I don't want that to happen because it's not that deep and it's not, it's different. It's just different circumstances. So I decided there's no candle wick here. So I like turn to go walk and I see them walking in my direction. And it's like, you know, when you kind of catch someone's eye, but you don't make official eye contact, it was kind of like that. So I just turned and I went to the cat toys and then I left. I don't even still know if it's this person because I don't know what they look like to this day. Like, I don't know what they look like, but it was super awkward. And I was just like,
you know, you can probably prepare for that by setting up a meeting and having it like happen happening in a controlled environment where you're like, no, it's going to happen instead of like an unexpected.
But then where's the flavor and life in that?
Well,
you know?
because then you can cry. If you think you might cry, then you at least like know where you're going to be.
Oh, I would buck up. I'd be like, absolutely not. But suck those tears in like that sheriff guy from Cloudy with the Chance of Meatballs.
I don't know. Yeah. That's just a suggestion.
Yeah. No, I'm cool.
Okay.
I'm not at that point. It's not that like, I'm not trying to be mean. It's just, I just don't care enough to do it. And just the mental, like thinking it through and then I don't care if I'm the villain. That's the thing. I don't care if I'm the villain in this story because it's like, that's your narrative because I'm the main character of my story. And so I can be the villain in someone else's story. I don't care, but I'm the main character. And it's like, I cut things out of my life that don't serve me anymore. And it's sad and it's hard sometimes.
Just like candle wicks.
Just like candle wicks, you know? And then sometimes you find a new way to do it. It's like no more, you know, dirty fingernail, paper towels.
Come on.
I'm getting the classy scissors and my life is going to change.
Okay, so did you ever find them? Or did you have to go to Amazon?
No, I didn't find them. So super annoyed. And then I was like, not stressed by seeing this person, but I was just like, not today, Jesus. Not today. I'm having it's like when you have a great hair day and the wind starts blowing. You're like, no. I don't ever have good hair days. This is a good hair day. I'm not taking that on. So that's where I was at.
Where else did you look? Or you just gave out, like you were...
Well, I looked at like 4 stores.
Did you look at a candle store?
What candle store? I might go to like...
Bed Bath & Beyond?
No, I went to Bed Bath & Beyond. Nothing. They did nothing. I'm going to try Beaver Bark because they have a good candle selection. Beaver Bark. For all your rock needs. Sponsor us today.
All your candle with trimming needs, possibly.
And then there's like a couple smaller boutiques in town that I could go look at. And if I can't find one, I'm just going to end up I probably will get it from a non-Amazon online retailer, like a small business online.
Yeah.
But it's just one of those things like when you want it now. Like, I was like very Veruca Salt. Like, I want it now.
That's how I feel about everything.
Yeah. Like, and if I can't get it now, I'm like, what is this? I'm not even going to deal with this anymore. Like, again, first world problems. I know, like, that's a place of privilege, blah, blah, blah. I get it. But also Amazon 2-day.
Yeah,
like,
I know. Although
it's changed.
2-day is not 2-day.
Mm-mm. And the mail service is changing. Did you see that? Oh, you know, the stamps went up 3 cents.
Okay,
3 cents for a postage stamp.
Sounded like that lady. You sounded like that lady in Ferris Bueller's Day Off or whatever. You know what I'm talking about?
I know, the little redhead lady. I love her. My Wisconsin, my Midwest comes out every once in a while when I'm talking savings. But yeah. And
wait, is that a real thing?
Yeah. I don't know. There's stuff
in your life. Is that a real thing?
What? Wisconsin coming out? Yes.
Did you ever live there?
I lived in Chicago, but I just you know,
is Chicago in Wisconsin?
No, it's like Midwestern.
Sorry, I'm terrible with geography, but I'm confused.
No, and it wasn't living in, but you know, you pick up stuff. You know, sometimes I say y'all, and I'm like, where did I get y'all from?
Right, I don't even know. Well, I sound like a Canadian when I talk to my parents.
Yeah,
apparently.
I mean,
according to my family that I live with, that family.
Yeah,
they say I sound different.
Yeah. But you mimic. It comes out. When
it does. Of course it does.
I was at a party on Friday and it was all these Black ladies. That's why I had to postpone because I never get to hang out with Black people.
I want to know more about that.
It was just like it was a group of women from my job that were getting together to say goodbye to someone. And so it was just like 5 of us, but it was so nice. We're at this lady's house and she had this beautiful view and it was just really nice. And there was all Black ladies and I'm just like, oh my gosh. And then it was, they call it code switching. So that's when you switch between the different like dialects and stuff. So I definitely sound different than I do at work. But like, I feel like I code switch more for the like slang side of me when it comes to teen slang. I have a guy I work with and he's hilarious. I help with this thing called English. It's like an English development class at my work. And so I lead it. But this guy that it's like a co-leader, he's like, you just speak in slang. And I'm like, I know.
So what is this? Is this for people who work that are English as a second language?
Yeah, because we have a lot of people where I work that are from different countries or English is their first language. So it's just people that want to improve their pronunciation and just learn more about the culture and stuff. Because, I taught English when I lived in South Korea and I've tried to learn languages before. And it's very different learning the language and being in the culture and seeing how people really use it. And just there's so much history goes into our language and just the way we talk about stuff, just the amount of idioms we have on things. It's just, it's intense. So
it totally is.
Yeah.
And this is along the same lines. I don't know why my brain does this, but occasionally I forget what a word actually means when I'm in a conversation with somebody. And then I'm like, do I pause and just say, hey, I forget what that word means or anyway, it just happened to me recently and
not embarrassing. Have you ever been talking and you say a big word and you're just like, that was a really good vocab word. I don't think that's what it means. Like, I don't think I used it in the right context. And then afterwards you like Google it and you're like, I'm a genius or I'm an idiot, depending on what the results are.
It was this conversation that was about a book and I'm like, oh, this book is hilarious. This is for you. And he was like, oh, is it satire? And I was like,
what's that mean?
I know. I was thinking, I'm like, what does satire mean again? And then I was like, well, he's making fun of it. And he's like, oh, yeah, okay. And then I was like Googling satire on my phone because I was like, why can't I remember? Why do I not know what that means in this moment?
I know. I don't understand how brains work.
Yeah.
That's what it comes down to.
I was just like,
It's so embarrassing.
I'm like, I think I know what it means. I think it's satire, but what if it's not satire?
Oh
so then I was, anyway.
Good times, man. I tell ya. Pause.
You still sound like that lady.
It's my
good times.
Good times. So a little bit of it is from like old SNL skits, like the sweaty balls.
Well, I was also thinking, is it like how many times have you watched?
I don't know. I watched them a ton when I was like growing up. So. But I think it's just so fun.
What is the sweaty balls thing?
Sweaty balls.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my gosh. So it's this old SNL skit about these 2 women that have a talk show, radio show, and it's the holidays and they're talking about, and some guy comes on as a guest star, but they're talking about what they make for the holidays and they make sweaty balls. And so they're talking about sweaty balls, like sweaty balls. And so it's just this whole thing, but they talk real, oh yeah, that kind of thing. So that's where I get it from.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I don't know. SNL, man. Did you watch this?
I want to write for it.
Oh, that's
not
bold.
really.
Yeah.
I mean, but I just feel like that would be fun.
Yes. This is part of the reason why I love that we're doing this is because it's been my fantasy always to have a talk show, like a radio talk thing. Dolly Parton had this movie come out in the 80s. And I think it was called like Street Talk or Safe Talk. I can't remember. Or Straight Talk. And so she was like, gave really good advice, but she like gets mistaken for this doctor of psychology to be on this like talk show, like radio show. And then she's giving advice to people and it's amazing. I'm like, that's my dream life right there.
Yeah.
Like a radio show. Yes. Sign me up. Guess what? Nobody's hiring. We're starting a podcast.
That's right. Anybody can be a radio.
Anybody can have a podcast. Yeah. It's like,
host.
Yes. And this is what you're getting, people. This is it. This is the prime things. And don't you love to give in like an unsolicited opinion? Like it's the best. Like, oh, you have a problem? Let me tell you how to fix it. no consequence to me. Like, it's the best.
Oh, that's a great description. Yeah.
So that's what this is. I realized, like, so I lived vicariously when I was a kid through movies. I don't know, I guess it was my coping mechanism. I have no idea. But like throughout my life, I have recreated so many different scenarios that I saw in movies in my own life. Like when I was a youth minister, we would do all these dances for one church I worked at for like Easter and Christmas and stuff. And you would find 80s moves from different like 80s movies that I was obsessed with in those dances. You know, like I recreated the Sister Act too.
That's amazing.
Joyful moment. Whole thing with choreography and singing, and it was horrible. But guess what? It was like my fantasy right there. So lots of stuff like that in my life.
That's awesome.
I just recreate it.
I feel like that's really fun.
It's so fun. And it's just like, you get to experience it. And it's just like, yes, my childhood dream is done, you know, and nobody knows that they've been a pawn in my
recreation.
in my recreation of the movie Fast Forward from 1984. Yeah. So anyway, that's my life, Jayme. It's so awkward.
Oh my gosh. I have a terrible memory, like I said, with movies. And so, but there was this period of my life when we lived in Belize and we had no access to anything other than whatever VHS we had on hand.
Oh, jeez.
And so there was this handful of movies that I watched over and over. And so I know those ones.
Yeah.
But
like name one of those.
A League of Their Own.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah, that's a good one.
A League of That's a good one. Die Hard.
Oh, okay. That's a good one too.
No, not Die Hard. True Lies. True Lies.
Oh, that one was fun. That was sexy time. I wanted to be a stripper after that. I was like, oh yeah. I think when
Jamie Lee Curtis.
Yeah, I was like 12 years like, yeah, I could get on the pole. I'm like, I think my parents needed to monitor a little bit, but that was like, yeah.
I know. I have to think about it, but those are the two that come to mind. True Lies and...
What a juxtaposition of a movie. Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
But yeah, there was a handful that I watched over and over. And my all-time favorite used to be Dumb and Dumber.
Oh my gosh.
I know that movie by heart.
Really?
Yes.
Fascinating. I mean, it's a good movie, but like, that's kind of shocking to me.
I loved it.
It was like, I would go League of Their Own before I would go Dumb and Dumber with you, but wow.
No, okay. I loved it. I don't know. I don't know what to say.
I think that's really cool. Like, yeah.
I still think of the lines from that movie frequently when just in life. Like Samsonite. Or just, I just reference it all the time in my mind. It's like burnt in.
Wow. Like, I only remember 3 things from that movie. Like, him on the toilet, because that's my worst nightmare.
Oh, yeah.
Like, can you think of anything worse than going to someone's house, going to the bathroom, and the toilet doesn't work? Like, that is the epitome.
Well, it's not just that. I mean, he had, like,
violent diarrhea.
Yes.
But any kind of, but I'm talking that. Like, I'm not saying, like, oh, there's a little extra, urine in there. Don't, No. It's like when you're like, I got a Duke, and,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I always do the test flush at anybody's house.
Oh.
Yeah, it's any new toilet I visit, I do a test flush. I'm looking for water pressure. I'm looking for like, okay, how much is going to go down? Can you use a little bit of toilet paper, a lot? Are you going to have to flush mid-go? And people are like, Beth, that's weird. I'm like, that's smart. Because I'm not getting embarrassed.
It is smart.
I was at dance team camp and I was trying to tell the girls, like, listen, if you're going to the bathroom, because they were all concerned, because they're like all dainty girls, they're concerned they're going to make the bathroom. So I'm like, listen, as soon as you start going, you flush. It's going to go away. The smell's not going to be there. Like, what? I'm like, yes. So then I got sick because I'm always sick. And I'm going to the bathroom and I'm using my system. And later my coach says, another coach comes out there, is she okay? The toilet was just flushing nonstop. And I'm like, dang it, don't judge. But it's brilliant. So to this day, it'll change your life when you're using a new bathroom.
Okay.
Really,
that is not something that I have really thought through. But now that is a great tip.
It has saved my life because I've gone to flush before and it didn't work. I'm like, oh, not using that stall. Left, go to a different stall. I'm happy. The next person's sad. So,
Yes.
Yeah. It can really it can make a difference, especially at somebody's house that you're like, if it's like your girlfriend, if it was your house, like, Jayme, bring me the plunger, it would be nothing. But like, that happened to me at a,
I don't think I have a plunger.
Girl, you need to get a plunger.
No, I think I threw it away because we used it and I was so grossed out when I don't know what I did with it. When we moved. I was like, no, I'm not bringing that.
No, you need it because you're gonna have a plunging moment and be real sad.
Oh my gosh. I really don't think I have one.
Yeah, but now so you're gonna go get one.
Yes, I am.
Yeah. there was one time because at this apartment, I don't know, the toilet was not working that well and I wasn't feeling good and I wasn't using my strategies and the toilet got clogged and I could not plunge it, nothing. So I had to like get up in the middle of the night because I'm like, I can't be without a bathroom. I had to go get a snake at Walmart at like 10:30 at night on a Sunday. It was horrible. I'm trying to snake a drain. I've never done it before. I'm watching YouTube videos and I was just praying to Jesus that it would clear. Yeah. And finally it did. And then the same problem happened like 2 days later and it didn't clear. And so thankfully this place has a gym. And so I was able to go use the bathroom there. But I was just like, I hate my life. I had to call like the building.
This place?
Right here. This is my apartment right now. Yeah. Okay. There's a little gym over there. So I'm like, well, just run. And yeah, it was awful. Anyway, that was my life. So yeah. That's why I'm like very particular about toilets, man.
Yeah, I think that's great advice. That's a really good tip.
Yeah, I mean, I'm full of those. Just things that like, okay, that's disgusting, but I'm glad I know.